Hello everybody and welcome back to a brand new episode of NASCAR Heat 5 Career Mode on the channel here. Today as we're going to be doing some Xfinity Series races as well as the Cup Series hot seat, as we're actually going to jump straight into the action here today in mid-Ohio here in the Xfinity Series, the very first road course race of the season. So of course you guys know that really I look at road racing as my biggest strength just in racing in general, even though obviously I have a kind of oval background being a NASCAR fan and just NASCAR racer with the video games my whole life. But road racing always feels like my strong suit just in anything now as we come through heading down towards turn 2. It was a decent qualifying effort here in mid-Ohio, as well as we're going to be going to Michigan today for both the Xfinity Series and the Cup Series. We've had 2 Cup Series hot seats in the last 2 episodes, and we're gonna make it 3 today. Now, as like I said, we will be going Cup Series racing as well at Michigan now as we came through, running up inside the top 10, now up to P6 here already on this first in opening lap. So it was a very good start for myself. We come through to the final lap here in stage 1, passing our teammate of Harrison Burton, and that was as far as we would get though in stage 1. Up to P4 it was here as we came through the final few corners. It was Noah Gragson winning stage 1, and I would come through to cross the line to finish P4 here in the opening stage in mid-Ohio. So a very solid effort for myself here in stage 1. Another Canadian of Alex LeBay up there in the second position here now as we would get ready to go green for the start of the second stage. And I definitely felt like if we could keep the car in good shape, we probably were going to have a significant chance at getting yet another win this season. As I look at all the road courses as a potential chance to get a win for us here this season, we still have Road America and Watkins Glen coming up as well here in the regular season. Now as the green flag is out and stage 2 is underway here in mid-Ohio as we dive down towards turns 1. Gragson, LeBay on the front row, myself and Austin Cindric P3, P4 now as we come through out of turns 1 all over the back of LeBay. 2 road ringers here of LeBay in the 36 and the 22 of Austin Cindric up here in the mix in the top 5 as we dive down into the second corner. Chase Briscoe actually got to my left-hand side, but that was as far as he would get now as we'd be ahead of him, and we would also pass the 22 of Austin Cindric on the exit of the corner now as we would now run down Alex LeBay. This is now the final lap of the second stage, as I really hadn't made a whole lot of progress here in stage 2 now as Briscoe had actually moved up into the 4th position. I make a bit of a mistake there, but somehow still close in on the back of LeBay, but then I get very loose on the exit of the left-hander, screw up the next corner as well, and that allows Briscoe to get up my right-hand side now as he passes me on the exit of the corner. Now we're side by side with Austin Cindric into this final sector of the track. Down to P4 here in stage 2 as we get a little bit too much curve there. Now we're sideways and we're going to correct into the side of Cindric, and into the barrier we go, and just like that we DNF here in mid-Ohio, just out of nowhere, as it shows you how easy it is to DNF in reality, as that certainly just kind of caught me off guard at myself when I was playing. I did not expect that to happen. Just one little mistake and you can see what happened. Unfortunately, I don't know if the game shows you the finishing results when you DNF, or I just forgot to show it, but either way we jump right into the action of the next race here in Michigan, obviously, as that was the end of our day in mid-Ohio. It's just like that one little mistake and your day is over just like that here in NASCAR Heat 5, which I really do like the good balance I have with the DNFs though in this game. It's the way it should be. It should punish you for making mistakes like that, as I just got a little bit too aggressive trying to make up for the mistakes I made just before then on that final lap of stage 2 in mid-Ohio. So we actually started in the back here in Michigan. I screwed up my qualifying lap, so we started in the very back trying to work our way forwards here. Stage 1 was only 2 laps, so I knew we were not going to have any chance at all of getting stage points here in stage 1 in Michigan, but I was doing what I could to work my way forwards as quickly as possible. Obviously, that would mean I would be running this bottom lane, and we were actually working our way through the field pretty quickly. We come through to the final lap out of turns 4 in stage 2. It was Austin Cindric leading the way. He would come through to win stage 1, as I'm going to come through to cross the line P21 here in Michigan. So I actually let off the throttle coming to the line to make sure I would actually get 21st, so I could line up on that inside going into stage 2 now, as I did not want to be on the outside for this upcoming restart here for the start of the stage. But we're still looking pretty good now, as we gained a whole lot of positions there in stage 1, which was only 2 laps. So given that it was only 2 laps, I definitely think we have a pretty strong car here now, as we have, 4 or 5 wins already on the season here in the Xfinity Series in our rookie season, making ourselves a very strong candidate for a potential ride in the Cup Series, maybe for Joe Gibbs Racing next season, as the second stage is underway here in Michigan now, as we are P21 crossing the line. This time we get an extra lap in stage 1, 3 laps to be exact here, in stage 2 I should say now, as we dive down into this first corner. There you see the 6 of David Starr on our outside. They're going 3 wide. Jeremy Clements going 3 wide up the middle there on the inside of Justin Allgaier. I'm going to go 3 wide up the inside of Bilicki now, as we're actually going to be 4 wide down the back straightaway with Bilicki, Clements, and the JRM driver of Justin Allgaier as we dive down towards turn 3, and we're actually going to make it work pretty well as we get past all of them into the corner now, as we take over P14, as you got to be aggressive in these Xfinity races. You don't have a lot of time to get things done, especially with the race length I do in the Xfinity Series. And then on the final lap now of stage 2, I got to my teammate of Herbst. We pass him down into turns 1. You can see all this aggressive driving here from surprise Noah Gragson. Can't really say we're surprised to see him being aggressive there, making some 3 wide moves, as we're doing the same on the final lap here in stage 2. 3 wide down the back straightaway for P10 as we dive down towards turns 3. Watermelon Boy Ross Chastain goes all the way to the top as we come through the center of the corner now, as I'm not going to quite have the momentum that I want, but on the exit of turn 4, it's Cindric who will come through once again to win stage 2, and at the line we don't have enough of speed to get P9, so it's going to be P10 across the line here in Michigan. So we're setting this up still pretty relatively good for the start of the third and final stage here in Michigan. Michigan could really be considered one of my home tracks in the NASCAR schedule, at least for when we're in like the Cup Series and whatnot, and Xfinity Series, as this track is only about 4 hours away from me, and so is Watkins Glen. So I kind of consider in the Xfinity Series schedule and the Cup Series schedule, Michigan, Watkins Glen kind of like my 2 closest tracks. So almost home tracks now, as obviously I am from Canada, as you guys know that, Ontario to be specific. Now as we get underway for this third and final stage here, as we dive down into turns 1, there you see Noah Gragson 3 wide already as we dive down into the center of the corner. We got Alex LeBay, I believe, up my inside now as we exit turns 2, right on the left rear of the JRM driver of Gragson. Now as we go down this back straightaway, we wouldn't be surprised to see Gragson in the final 4 in real life and as well as this season in our game here, as we dive down into turns 3 up into P9, trying my best to pass Gragson, but it would not quite happen as he would actually get back out in front of me. I was running P8 now on lap 14 with 7 laps to go, approaching 6 to go, as Harrison Burton, our teammate now, was out front as we come through out of turns 4 behind Ray Black Jr. As we go down the front straightaway, someone though up ahead is actually smoking down the front straightaway, and that's going to bring out a caution here in Michigan and force a late race restart now, as we're going to be P7 as we gain 1 spot. I did not know who that was, but either way, we move up 1 spot to be on the inside lane for what could be the final restart of the day. Cindric just in front of myself now as the green flag is back out. 3 laps remain once we cross the line here in Michigan. Harrison Burton with the lead, but I get a very, very strong launch off the box, and we're already going to go up the inside even of Daniel Hemrick, who runs P3, and we might even sneak up the inside of Burton. Sure enough, we do. We're going to be side by side now for the lead as we exit turns 2. Did not expect that to happen. We go from P7 to P1 on 1 restart and through 1 set of corners now, as we're going to be side by side with Burton down the back straightaway. Cindric behind myself with the draft as we dive down into turn 3. We nearly clear Burton, but we don't quite make it happen. He has the momentum on that second lane, and sure enough, on the exit of turn 4, we're going to still be side by side, approaching just 2 laps to go here in Michigan now, as I really want to get another victory, but Burton looking for his first ever Xfinity Series win here in his rookie season, as well as it's an all-rookie lineup here this season at Joe Gibbs Racing, and we have been the one shining so far, but Burton clears us on the exit of turns 2 when we fade in to the second position, and once he cleared me, he was gone, but I would be able to at least hold on to the second position as we came through on this final lap now here in Michigan, holding off both Cindric and Gragson here as we go down the back straightaway. So Burton driving away down into turns 3 for the final time. Gragson actually got to my outside, but he goes way up high into turns 3, so we should be pretty safe on the exit of turns 4. But for the first time in his Xfinity Series career, Harrison Burton will come through to pick up the victory in Michigan as we cross the line with the runner-up second place finish here. So can't complain about a second place finish. That definitely held up pretty well. I definitely thought we could have maybe had a chance to win that race if we got maybe another chance at Burton, but obviously he was so fast it was going to require another restart if we wanted to have anything for him. There you see, though, 4 wins for us on the season. But now we have a Cup Series hot seat offer for Michigan here, and it's going to be a 4-star car for the iconic Wood Brothers Racing here. So very excited to run the number 21 car that Matt DiBenedetto drives. I can tell you that if we pass this hot seat, we're not going to be driving the Wood Brothers next season now, as we will get ready though to go green. So 26 laps. I decided to not do the whole thing because we're still not in like a 5-star car yet. So obviously next season you guys know that we will be doing 25% races, as well as I'm going to be doing basically what you saw from the Talladega video, just kind of to give you a hint at what it's going to be like when we get to the Cup Series next season. Very excited for that now, as I might do some 50% races here and there, like the Homestead finale, maybe the Daytona 500, as it will be our first Daytona 500. Obviously, now as we cross the line qualifying to go P27, the goal is to finish in the top 20. So 7 positions below the goal. Not what we were looking for, but I definitely am confident still in the speed in this car. But on pole, we got Kyle Busch for Joe Gibbs Racing. Now, Kyle Busch, of course, could be our future teammate here in the Cup Series now, as we very well could be going to Joe Gibbs Racing next season. Definitely going to have to see, though, which driver would lose their ride. I would assume it'd be Eric Jones, would be my guess. Obviously, he just got announced he's losing his ride in real life in the Cup Series now. As you see, Eric Almirola looking a bit slow today, but Kyle Busch on pole with Ryan Newman actually joining him on the front row. But we got Cole Custer there, who is going to be starting in the back after replacing a transmission in qualifying. So unfortunate for the SHR driver now, as we get ready to go green here in Michigan. Now on the outside of the 32 of Corey LaJoie, as the green flag is out, and we are underway here at Michigan now from P26, moving up 1 spot due to Cole Custer starting at the back of the field. Right behind us, we got Ross Chastain, the Watermelon Boy, and the 16 of Justin Haley as we dive down towards turns 1 for the first time here. Now as you see Bobby Carter all the way in the back now as we come through the center of turns 1 and turns 2. The 13 of Ty Dillon going pretty high, so I'm going to get aggressive early on. We're going to go 3 wide up the middle on this opening lap here in Michigan now between LaJoie and the 13 of Ty Dillon, and we're going to make it stick pretty well now as we dive down into turn 3, but I decided to be a little bit careful there with the 32 on entrance, but sure enough I'm able to get clear of him. Still already up into P23 behind 22nd place of the 7-time champion of Jimmy Johnson. Obviously, when we go into the Cup Series next season, our rookie season, it will also be Jimmy Johnson's final season in the Cup Series. So, who's going to replace Jimmy Johnson? Not quite sure yet. Now as we dive down towards turns 1, I can say that likely whoever replaces Johnson in real life is probably going to be the driver that gets his ride in the career mode now as we come to out of turns 4, heading down the front straightaway. On lap 2, we were up now to P21 after passing Stenhouse, and then we would run down Daniel Suarez here as we went down into turns 1 with just 2 to go in this first stage already. His head made up very much ground at all as we were right behind, though, the 20 of Eric Jones. We passed Suarez for the moment, but he was running the outside lane, and that was allowing him to get a massive run down the straightaways, as I was finding it very hard to actually pass him. I was trying to give him the room that he needed, of course, down the straightaways, and I could have cut him off quite a few times. I had the opportunity to do so, but I decided to just be pretty respectful at this point now, as we're only part-time in the Cup Series, so I didn't see a reason to just kind of be in the way. So I let Suarez get those runs down the straightaways and just give him the room that he needs now as we came through on the final lap here of stage 1. Same spot now as we were behind Suarez, diving down into turns 3, but this time I decided we're going to get a little bit more aggressive right on the back there of Eric Jones as we exit turns 4, but I'm going to slide up in front of Suarez, and we're going to hold on to P20 as we come through to cross the line here in stage 1. So right on that goal requirement at the end of the stage. So definitely we have the car to match the goal. So we know that we can't really be too concerned, as I would pit for 2 cans of fuel, 4 tires. I didn't know what the AI were going to do, but I decided to throw 4 tires on it anyways because I knew we had the speed. But unfortunately, we dropped down all the way to the 40th position. So that's not very good for us as we start this second stage. But on the bright side, it's only stage 2, and we know we have the speed to work our way back up inside that top 20. So I wasn't too concerned. We have an extra lap here in stage 2 as well, as we're going to be P7, as you see me already side drafting Chad Fincham as we dive down towards turns 1 here, as you see a bit of a checkup now from Joey Gase there in the number 51 car, as we almost got into the back of him actually on the exit of turns 2. But now just going to kind of stick to this outside lane. I kept in mind what we saw from Daniel Suarez in stage 1. He was running all the way up by the wall through the center of the corners, and he was making it work. So I definitely thought maybe if I get the opportunity, I could actually try and see if this higher lane could work now as I try to get to the outside of the 00 of Quinn Hoff now as we go down this front straightaway, but he's going to hold on to the spot for this brief moment as we push him across the line side by side with the 62 of Brendan Gaughan. So already up into P33 as we dive down towards turns 1. This is when I take the Daniel Suarez approach from stage 1 and just go to the outside of these guys and see if we can make it work. Certainly, though, a lot lower than Suarez was, but we still make it work now as we're closing in on the back of the 43 of Bubba Wallace here, as well as the 8 of Tyler Reddick now as we go down towards turn 3. Another driver you could see get moved around in this career mode with the driver moves that I do is Bubba Wallace. We could see him maybe move to that 42 car sometime in this career mode, as he has made it pretty aware that he has an offer in real life from, what's it called, Chip Ganassi Racing. So very well could see him in that 42 car in the future as we exit turns 4. Now on lap 4, we had worked our way up to P27, but a caution came out actually, and that would end stage 2 a few laps early. So that's going to actually add on, though, to the lap count a little bit, at least in the third and final stage. But Joey Logano did win stage 2, no pit stops necessary, and we would get ready to go green for the third and final stage. So now up into P27, which was our qualifying position here now as we get ready to go green. So we have the whole third stage, which is going to be 13 laps. It's going to be 12 laps. We're going to have 12 laps to work our way up into the top 20. So we only need 7 positions. So I was very confident that we can make it happen here as we dive down this front straightaway. They're going 3 wide in front of us already between McDowell, Ryan Preece, and Eric Jones. And I wouldn't be surprised one bit if you see me in that 20 car next season here in the career mode now as we come through out of turns 2, passing Eric Jones, who's having a very, very poor run for a Joe Gibbs car here in Michigan. Outside of the top 25 he is right now as we dive down towards turn 3 on the inside of McDowell. We have help there from the 37 of Preece, but up inside the top 24, now passing Stenhouse for 23rd. So 3 spots is all we need in the final 11 laps of this race. Once we cross the line, Logano leads the first lap of this third and final stage here as we come through, heading down into turns 1. Suarez on the outside. There you see John Hunter Nemechek off the inside of the 10 of Eric Almirola, who's not been having the greatest race to say the least now as we come through out of turns 2, side by side with the Stuart Haas Racing driver now as we go down this back straightaway. Cole Custer, he's worked his way forwards a bit after starting in the back after replacing that transmission, as Suarez gets to my outside, still running that outside. Daniel Suarez is, but it's still working for him. He's getting a lot of momentum down those straightaways. But we would run through up into P21. We had help from Eric Almirola, who gave me a huge push down the back straightaway on lap 19. I would take advantage, go to the inside of the 38 and the 41 of Nemechek and Custer, and now we're up inside the top 20. We are beating our goal by 1 position now at this point as we came through on lap 20, just kind of holding our own here in P19. But then the caution comes out with 9 laps to go. Kurt Busch leading the way, and now this is going to force a late race restart here in Michigan from the 19th position. So not over yet. We could definitely make a mistake like we did in Mid-Ohio, DNF the car, and just like that our chances of getting a 5-star hot seat are completely wiped away now, as Daniel Suarez there is going to be lining up in P23, one of the notables now as we are underway for what could be the final restart here in Michigan now, as we got right behind us the 41 of Cole Custer. I would love to have a draft partner right here, and I look at the 10 of Eric Almirola. He made it aware that he was willing to push me as we dive down into turns 1. Matt Kenseth there on my outside. Kenseth has been struggling in the 42 car all season in real life, but no really surprise now as we come through out of turns 2. He took such a long break, and to just throw him back in a car, it's definitely going to be tough to run well. Now as we dive down into turns 1 on lap 25, I was up to P16 after passing the 17 of Busher, 48 of Johnson. Now we were up the inside of William Byron on the exit of turns 2. So 5 spots or so ahead of our goal position. So I decided, you know what, we can risk it and see if we can get past this 24, force the issue a bit now as we're going to get up the inside as well of potentially Denny Hamlin through turn 3. Sure enough, Byron slides in behind me, and we pick him up as a draft partner. Exactly what we need as we exit turns 4, and now Byron closes in on the back of us now as he's going to give us a push, and that's going to help me get ahead of Boyer as we come through to cross the line, as well as we're going to get up the inside of the Hendrick Motorsports teammate of William Byron, of Chase Elliott, as we dive down into turns 1 now through the center of the corner, and sure enough, we're going to clear them, and then the 24 is actually going to get to my inside on the exit of turn 2, so he kind of pushed me ahead of everybody, and then he's like, okay, I'm going to leave you out now and actually go past you. So we drop down into P12 here with 3 laps to go in Michigan. Elliott trying to fight back on my outside, but I use that draft from William Byron to hold on to the 12th position now as we came through out of turn 4. So beating our goal by a whole 8 positions, but that was as far as I could get as we came through to the final lap here, diving down towards turns 1. Joey Logano had actually gotten past Kurt Busch, so Kurt Busch in P2 trying to pounce back on Logano on this final lap now, as we had no pressure right now from behind, and the goal was to just hang on to the car here on this final half a lap and bring it home in a very strong P12 finish here in Michigan. Our Cup debut was a while back at Talladega, and we almost got a top 10 there for the first time in our Cup Series career, in our first Cup race, but came up just short. And once again today, we're going to come up just short of a top 10, but it's still going to be a very solid effort now, as we're going to cross the line behind William Byron to finish in the 12th position. So cannot complain about P12 at all, as Joey Logano does pick up the victory here in Michigan. So a very strong effort as we complete the 4-star hot seat goal, and now that should give us a 5-star hot seat, if I'm not mistaken. Maybe we do have one more 4-star, I'm not 100% sure, but we, I believe, are going to have a 5-star hot seat at the next one, which I would think would be Darlington, if I'm not mistaken, and you can actually check the standings to see where your next Cup Series hot seat is going to be, but obviously we're not going to do the truck race. I hate Iowa. I cannot express how much I hate Iowa. Now, I actually like it in the Cup cars, but anything that's not a Cup car here, I do not like it now. So, in the next one, we will be going, though, to Iowa in the Xfinity Series, so that's going to be a fun one. Now, as we've been on a bit of a slump now, getting a few DNFs here in the Xfinity Series, but then we backed it up with P2 in Michigan. But hopefully we can turn it around in the next episode. But as always, if you guys enjoyed this episode, you know what to do. It's going to be a little bit, I think, until we have another Cup hot seat. It's going to be like till the playoffs. So, yeah, we definitely got a little bit of time now to focus on the Xfinity Series and make that grind to the end of the regular season there. As you see, it is going to be Darlington for our next Cup Series hot seat, as you actually see the playoff grid going into that one. But that will do it for this episode, so I will see you guys in the next one. Thank you all for taking the time out of your day to watch it, and have yourselves a great day, everybody.